Hello, my wonderful Cancerians. Welcome back to Vovo Drag Tarot. I am Joni Vovo, a drag performer based in Sydney's Inner West in Sydney, Australia. And this is a general reading for the Cancer Collective. So if Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising, this video is for you. It is a general reading, so just take the messages that resonate and leave the ones that don't for someone else in the Cancer Collective watching on. I am using a Raider White deck. I'll be using a Celtic Cross to look at your current situation, some challenges you might be facing, as well as some advice and a potential outcome. And even though I do look at what might be coming ahead in the future, just know that you're your own sovereign being, so make your own goddamn choices about your own life. And just use this as a chance to have a bit more clarity and insight about your situation. If you would like a personal reading, just have a look in the description box below, and there's a link through to my website to book that. Otherwise, if you'd love to support me, please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment below. Where are you watching? Where in the world are you watching from? Would love to know. Otherwise, let's just jump straight in. One last shuffle. All right, you ready? Let's go. Okay, so I could take this a few ways. The rest of the cards will give a bit more clarity and insight, but let's just see where it goes. You are potentially feeling a little like you've lost your zhuzh. Like, maybe ordinarily you're a very outgoing person, very sociable, like you love being amongst people and just looking your best, feeling your best, and but at the moment you feel like you've maybe... Oh, hello? Oh, I thought there was someone at the door. There wasn't. Maybe just feel like you've lost a bit of your confidence. Maybe maybe even your appearance, you're like, oh, I don't feel like I'm looking my best. Maybe you're feeling a bit antisocial, like, even though maybe you're an extrovert and you love it, maybe just for whatever reason, like your energy's a bit off and you're not feeling your zhuzh. That's okay, it happens. Let's get some more cards to get a bit more context. Okay, so maybe there was some new offer that came in. Maybe it was a job offer, maybe it was an offer to live somewhere else, move somewhere else, maybe just generally in your life, there was this opportunity to go in a different direction. And again, it could be anything: work, career, home, your hobbies, just the day-to-day. There's something that's come in and opened a doorway to some new direction. You know where this applies, but for whatever reason, this opportunity coming in has thrown you out. Maybe it's got you questioning your life at the moment, or maybe it's just rattled you a bit for whatever reason. Just got you questioning, just questioning your life and questioning yourself. Maybe you're thinking, okay, well, this is what I usually do. This is how I usually do things. This is what I'm familiar with. This is what I'm comfortable with. This new direction, maybe there's a bit of unknown to it. Maybe you're thinking about, oh, well, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Am I happy where I am? Would I be happier there? But for whatever reason, it's just thrown you out a bit, and maybe you don't know what to do about this. Maybe you're in a bit of indecision, and I suppose because you don't have clarity and certainty, this is maybe what's undermining your confidence a bit. You know how it applies. Let's keep going. This is still a bit vague. Let's see if we can narrow it down a bit. Okay, so whatever this new path is, it seems if you choose it or go in that direction, it's going to be a dramatic end of maybe your old life. Maybe up until now you've been living life, living large, in the flow of it, and it's all been great. And then suddenly you've you've had to make a right turn, and suddenly you're heading in a completely different direction, and you're not in your flow, not in your element, and means you've had to either walk away from something or end something. Maybe you were in a certain job for a long time and built your career up to a certain point, and that was your identity. And then suddenly you started a new job and then had to quit a job, and maybe you're like, okay, well, if that's not who I am anymore and that's not my identity, and I put 10 years into that chapter of my life, and now that chapter ended, and now I'm in this new chapter, and I don't know who I am anymore, or where, like, it just seems like whatever this change is, it's just completely thrown you out. I don't know what it is. Apply it to where it applies. Maybe there's a career reading. Don't know. Apply it where it applies. Yes. So exactly what I was saying. A chapter of your life has ended or is coming to an end, or maybe because whatever this new path is, maybe it's the what am I trying to say? It's like the first signpost. Like if you're driving down the highway and you're approaching a new city, it's like the first signpost that says, City of Melbourne, 600 kilometers or whatever. And it's like you've seen the first notice and you're like, oh God, it's getting closer. And there's going to be the next sign, destination in 300 kilometers, 200 kilometers. So maybe you haven't arrived there yet, but it's like all these signs are there saying, the change is coming. You're leaving where where you've left is getting further and further behind. So it feels like you're in this transition very much of chapters. Maybe they're overlapping, and it's like this chapter's coming to a rapid close, and then this new chapter. It almost feels like it's is it inevitable? Often aces are about something external. Like you can see this hand is popping in from the clouds. So has the universe stepped in and said, all right, it's time for a change. It's time to end a chapter and move into a new one. And it's maybe caught you a bit by surprise, and maybe it was a bit out of your hands. It just happened. And yeah, and the Wheel of Fortune is all about, it's all about lessons that we need to learn. As maybe whatever your life has been up until this point, maybe because you were in your zhuzh before, you were living large, maybe you got to the limit of it. You learnt all the lesson, had all the experiences, did everything you could do in that chapter. And then the universe is okay, you've done everything you needed to do in this chapter. You've learnt everything you needed to learn. We're going to put you in a new situation because it's time you had some new experiences and learnt some new things. And so that's what you're in the middle of at the moment. It all just seems a bit dramatic. Like it wasn't just you deciding, oh, you know what, I'll try something different. It's kind of like it's just swept in and thrown you into a new path in a new direction. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, okay, so yeah, I think we've had the Queen of Wands coming in upside down. We've now got the Queen of Pentacles coming in upside down. So not only has it affected your, I guess, confidence, your self-image, maybe how outgoing you are, it also seems to be affecting you a bit more deeper than that, like affecting your sense of stability in yourself, in your surroundings, in your setting, again, home, career, money, finance, whatever. So it seems these shock waves have gone pretty deep. It's not just you're having a bad hair day. It seems like it's making you question a lot of things about who you are, and what you can find strength and confidence in. Does that make sense? I think this also... So I guess the other two sides of this is the Queen of Wands. If she comes in upside down, it can also mean she is perhaps being a bit reactive, a bit triggered, and so rather than being her usual charismatic self, she might just be a bit... Let's just... I don't want to say it. Let's just say she switches from being charismatic and starts being a bit controlling. Like she needs to get everything in order and be in control. And then the Queen of Pentacles upside down is like self-care just goes out the window. You know, she walks around a disheveled mess because she's just so thrown out by everything. So more to say, yeah, it's however this shockwave is manifesting in your life, it's affecting you deeply in a few different ways. Okay, so what you don't see coming... Well, we started back here with the Ace of Pentacles. So the universe stepping in and going, all right, we're going to send you off in this direction now. And I think you're going to hate me saying this. Okay, so if we go back to your usual energy, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, large and in charge, bold, charismatic, confident, has deep inner sense of stability and peace and resources, inner and outer, at their disposal. Beautiful, wonderful. Thrown out. So the Page of Pentacles is very much... So pages are the students of the tarot deck. They realize there's lots of things that they don't know. They are there to be open and receptive to new experiences. So your approach here, in a sense, might be to... So in the last chapter of your life, you got to the heights of it. You know, if it was a career, you got to the peak of your career. You're basically being asked to start over, which is probably why you feel so, why things feel so unsettled and unstable. This new chapter seems like you're going to go back to ground zero and then work your way back up again. And that's going to be, and whatever lessons there are through that, that's just what's going to happen next. And that's possibly where this Ten of Swords is coming in. It's like, you know, it's like, okay, let's Marie Kondo this chapter. It's like, give thanks and then send it on its way. It sparked joy, but it no longer does, and I'm going to send it on its way. So be open, be receptive, be innocent. Approach it with openness. This new chapter, approach it with openness, wonderment. Be receptive. Know there's going to be things you don't know. There's going to be things that you don't know. But, I mean, you've already won and succeeded at whatever this last chapter was. You know that you have the strength and resources and ability within you to succeed. So even though you're starting over, you've got it. You've done it before, you'll do it again. Which might be, you know, starting over is never fun. It can be a bit very demoralizing. It can, yeah, like, it can be exhausting. But I think this is going to be your approach going into this new path, situation, and chapter. Just embrace it. Easier said than done, right? Okay, all right. Let's keep going. Yes, very much that. So, change is coming. Change is happening, whether you like it or not. And it seems here, you know, like I said, the analogy of flying down the highway, all the signs are there. It's happening. It's coming, whether you like it or not, whether you're ready for it or not. This transition is happening. It's going ahead. And you might be resisting it. So, again, go back, openness, self-belief. You know, the page also has the self-belief that they can learn, can grow, can understand, can achieve. That they will have to work their way up to it, but they know they can do it. Okay, so you are very much wanting to, you want clarity. You want clarity about what's ahead. You also want clarity within yourself, right? You want to be self-aligned. And whatever this situation is going into it, yeah, you want, what am I trying to say? I guess you want to have a clear understanding of what it is you're going into and how you're going to navigate it. And what, I guess at the moment, because you feel so discombobulated, it's probably very hard to see that clearly. But you'll get there. I mean, we're going back to the page, but then your hope is to work back up to the king, to have that authority, self-alignment, and clarity. You have the capacity to do it. It's where you're headed anyway. So, yeah, again, whilst you might feel completely thrown out now, you're going to get back to a place where you do have that inner stability with how you're approaching and moving through this new chapter, whatever it might be. I'm curious. If you care to share, I would love to know how this applies. Is this a career reading? Are you moving? Like, what are you doing? Are you starting over? How are you starting over? It very much feels like it's something related to maybe work and finance or career and home, or like your home. So I feel like maybe some of you are moving, some of you are changing jobs, career paths, and it feels like it's not just you're changing from one company to another. It's like you're completely jumping from one field to another field, which would be why you would be starting over, right? So if you've worked your whole life in, I don't know, IT, and then you suddenly decided, you know what, I'm going to study medicine. Like, you might have got to the peak of your career in IT, and then to jump into medicine, even though you might be earning a certain amount of money and have all sorts of experience and skills, you're completely different area, completely different field, you're starting over. But, you know, you've still got life experience, you've worked through a career path before, you can do it again. It's just in a different field. Anyway, that's how this feels to me, but please, I would love to hear how it applies to you. All right. So, potential outcome. Yeah. I can just see here there's lots of cards of resistance. So, like, the Wheel of Fortune came in upside down. Six of Swords came in upside down. And here we have the Four of Cups coming in upside down. So it's just this general theme of resistance. And it seems like, so I say potential outcome, so you have a choice here. One potential outcome is that you can go into this new chapter kicking and screaming and being like, no, no, no. But you have the choice of how you approach it and face it. It seems that this end is inevitable. Whatever it is, there's a clear end here and a clear new beginning. It's your choice on how you approach that. Are you going to reject the whole situation and just continue being completely just living in limbo? Or are you going to face it with openness and work your way back to this wonderful position of self-knowing, self-alignment, and clarity? I think you've got it. I mean, it's not easy, it sounds stressful, it sounds hard, but I think you've got it. All right, I'm going to have a quick look at the bottom of the deck. New opportunities coming in, hard work, Ooh, being back in your strength and, yeah, basically being back in your strength. Here, I'll show you the cards. What am I doing? New opportunities coming in, working really hard, being back in alignment with your strength and knowing your direction, leading you back home. Like, need I say more? All right. I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, let me know how that resonated. Hit like, hit subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you next time, loves. Bye.